We begin with the developing story at 5. The fighter plane that's central to the mission of Davis-Monthan Air Force Base is now in the crosshairs of budget cuts.
The entire fleet of A-10s is on the chopping block in a new military budget, and that doesn't bode well for the future of the base, which is the main training site for the A-10. U.S. Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel laid it out just a few hours ago. The Air Force has said it would save $3.5 billion over 5 years by cutting the entire fleet of 343 A-10s. He says the United States faces a more volatile, more unpredictable world, and the A-10 has outlived its usefulness.
This was a tough decision. But the A-10 is a 40-year-old single-purpose airplane originally designed to kill enemy tanks on a Cold War battlefield. It cannot survive or operate effectively where there are more advanced aircraft or air defenses.
His proposals also include shrinking the size of the Army from more than 500,000 active duty soldiers to about 450,000. This would be the smallest force in decades, and he wants to retire the famous U-2 spy plane. But it's the elimination of the A-10 and the cuts in Army personnel that has Tucson leaders concerned about both Davis-Monthan and Fort Huachuca. KOLD News 13's Barber is live. And Barber, you talked with Congressman Ron Barber. What's he saying about all this?
Well, Congressman Ron Barber says this proposal to eliminate the A-10 makes no sense. Now, Barber also calls the decision not well thought out. He says $100 billion has been spent to upgrade the A-10, while it's expected it will only save about $700,000 a year to eliminate it. Plus, Barber says no other aircraft, including the new F-35 fighter, can do what the A-10 can.
The A-10 is the most effective close air support for our troops on the ground. When I speak to Army and Marines and others, including Air Force personnel who have been deployed to Iraq and to Afghanistan, and when they get into a firefight or when they're in a situation where they need help, the one asset that they always say is the most important to them is the A-10.
Military cuts. Barber went on to say from that military story that it would be detrimental to both our local economy. Now, only on KOLD News 13. 4 weeks before today's announcement, we have been digging into the future of Davis-Monthan and what happens if it loses the A-10. Does it close or does it find a new mission? Tomorrow night at 10, we show you the possibilities and the options. Don't miss our special report. Again, that's tomorrow night at 10.